We have another character request, and this time it's from Tough Puppy, another different Nickelodeon show, an iconic show I like. And someone wanted to see Kitty Katswell for character ideas and moveset ideas and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to be talking about today for the spotlight for Kitty Katswell. She was, and if you don't know the show, Tough Puppy is part of Nickelodeon, and it stands for the Turbo Undercover Fighting Force for this particular show. And Tough Puppy was Deadly Puppy, and who Kitty Katswell was is she was associated with Deadly Puppy as his partner and his #1 agent, and they were very close. They got really close as the show went on. And for this particular video, I'm going to be sharing my ideas that I came up with, some episodes and different clips, and even many more things that I came up with for animations from the show as well. So, just as usual, we're going to start with the stages, and just a little quick background about Kitty Katswell. And she's athletic. She has some good combat abilities, and she can also use lots of different gadgets and weapons from the show. So it opens up her offensive capabilities, and I think she'll be a good fit in this game. And take a look at the characters on the screen. It's just, there's so many characters. We already got 4 from Ninja Turtles. We got 3 from SpongeBob, and then 3 from Avatar if you want to count Korra, even though she has her own show. But some of these characters, they're individual reps. But we need more. We need more characters from other franchises. I would like to see throughout 2022. Hopefully, we get some more characters from different shows. We don't want to have an abundance of too many characters from the same shows coming in, because already reading TMNT, the Ninja Turtles. As much as I love the shows and all the different characters, I want to see more characters represented from other worlds and different franchises and memorable shows that can go on. I can go on and on. But Tough Puppy doesn't even have a character in this game, and it's a Nickelodeon show a lot of people like. And I think Kitty Katswell would be a perfect rep for this game, and that's what I'm going to get ready to share the ideas. So I just wanted to get a little background for her. So for some people who haven't seen this show before, it's called Tough Puppy. So it's a really good one. And just watching these clips, it just brought back, just again, so much nostalgia, and wanting to watch the show. I don't know how to watch the full show anymore, because they don't air it on TV. It's not the same. But let's get into the stages I associated with Kitty Katswell, and then more of her ideas and stuff like that. The main setting for Tough Puppy was Petropolis for the main setting, and I came up with that as the setting, as a stage that could come out with her. And then going a little bit deeper into the show, they will usually hang out at the T.U.F.F headquarters, the Turbo Undercover Fighting Force headquarters, which could be a potential stage with Kitty Katswell in the DLC bundle. But those are all the stages I could really come up with as far as this particular character request. And now we're going to get into some alternate costumes. She had a lot of different costumes. She has so many different disguises. Some that are used as disguises and different things that she would wear throughout the episodes. She even changed a few times as far as different costumes throughout these different episodes that you will be able to find out. It was too many, so I only picked a couple of them that I think you guys will probably like. But I'm sure no matter what kind of costume or alternate outfit that they release with her, because each character, they all have their own individual alternate costumes, or say alternate conferences, different costumes that reference something. And these are the ones that I came up with for Kitty Katswell. So to start, I came up with the tour guide disguise that she wore. And this is funny because this was actually the very first episode. And it's a cool little introduction of her character and what she's really about in her undercover disguise as one of the Undercover Fighting Force members. The tour guide disguise she wore at the Museum of Natural History in the Purr-fect Partners episode. So that's how she really got introduced, because she was disguised as a tour guide at this particular museum. And then once the villains start showing up, that's when she burst out of the disguise and she revealed herself being Kitty Katswell, part of the Tough Puppy or the Turbo Undercover Fighting Force. See what I'm saying? So I thought that would be a cool little DLC alternate costume. Also came up with the airline flight attendant that she wore in the Mom-A-Geddon episode, Camper Kitty from Snappy, I was gonna say Snapper Campers. The Camper Kitty outfit she could wear also from the Snappy Campers episode. And then I really like this one. I could not find the episode for this. It's the black cat suit that she wore in the show, and she had the shades. It made me think of Catwoman a little bit. So I think a lot of people will really like her black cat suit and will definitely buy it if they were to do like an in-game shop for some of these characters. They can do a shop. They can have an in-game shop for these alternate costumes, all the characters that you see on the screen for the roster, and they can have a purchasable DLC and come out with different outfits that the player can purchase, like the black cat suit, for example, which I think most people will probably want to see and definitely will want to purchase for Kitty Katswell. So I could not find the episode for this, but just like I said, she has so many costumes and different outfits. It would be a bigger list than what I have here. So I only picked a couple and found some from different clips and different episodes that I was watching when I was putting this all together. So I really think the black cat suit would be really cool, and just many others as well that I just mentioned. And along with the others that she wore in the other episodes, she wore so many different disguises. But now it's time for the taunts. So with Kitty Katswell, maybe some of you guys don't know, Kitty Katswell can be easily distracted. And when all you really need, you can have like a toy mouse. It could be a plush or something like that. A plushie of a mouse. Something like that. It's just anything that's a mouse, she will get distracted, even if it's a toy or anything like that. And that's what she really gets distracted for. It can, no matter what it is, she's gonna go after it because of it's a mouse. Because it's a mouse, a plush, a toy, or just any sort of it could just be any sort of design of a mouse. She's gonna go after it just because it's a mouse. So I referenced this from the Curse of King Mutt. The Curse of King Mutt episode. So I thought maybe she could have that same reaction, that face full of surprise. Mouse! She would just go crazy for it. And I liked it. I think this would be a really funny taunt that the player can do. It's quick and it's not too long. See? It's not too long of a taunt, and the player can just keep on using it whenever they want to. And she's saying, mouse! And it can go alongside with these voice lines when they come out with them, and she can have those different sort of reactions. So some others I came up with, it's a catchphrase, but I think this might be too long. I'm still going to read it and share it with you guys anyway, just doing some digging and researching about what she does in the show and different things like that. But I think that mouse, that face, going crazy for that mouse, I think that'll be something that that can really be implemented to this game for Kitty Katswell. So she said, I speak 120 dialects fluently, master all forms of martial arts, and my claws are registered as lethal weapons. So that's a potential quote, but that's too long. So I decided to cut it down to where she can also do another taunt and say, my claws are registered as lethal weapons, or she could say, my claws are lethal weapons. See? And she can probably raise her claws and maybe just sharpen a little bit, and it can just do a little sparkle effect. The edge of her claws, some of her claws can do that little sparkle effect in the game. I think they can really implement that animation for the taunt. So that would be something like that. And then one more, I wanted to reference the Snappy Campers episode. When she was telling, she was trying to tell Dudley Puppy to get out of my house. Because Dudley Puppy and all the others somehow got into her house and they was having a party. Every character was in there, all of her friends, everyone that she knows was there just partying it up at her house while she was away camping. And Dudley Puppy actually had a fireplace. He made her a fireplace inside of her own house, and she was like, I don't really have a fireplace because Dudley Puppy and the others and all her friends were having a party and making s'mores. So I'm not exaggerating, I just was looking up the clip from this particular episode, and she was telling her, she said, I don't have a fireplace. And then he said, oh, you do not? I actually made you one. I made you a fireplace so everybody's eating s'mores and during the party. It's the biggest party that she's missing out on. and how they wanted her to come back home and be able to come hang out and party it up with them. So that was in the Snappy Campers episode. So she could say, "Get out of my house." That could be a quick little taunt that she can do, and just yelling. So I'm not sure if that could be in, but I think the closest one would be the Curse of King Mutt episode reference with the her distractions with mouse, and just any sort of mouse in general. So I think that'll be a quick one. It's safe for the player and it's quick. It's quick and easy. So winning animations, I came up with the Gloating Dance when I was just digging through the episodes and checking out different things that she does. She did a gloating dance where she when they were fighting, she was fighting Deadly Puppy or Tough Puppy over the sunglasses. She could do some kind of gloating dance like that in celebration. It fits the winning animation, so you can get the dub. She can just start dancing on the screen. And a little bit more about her for Kitty Katswell, I found out she was not that good at dancing. She was such a bad dancer. So Kitty Katswell's bad dancing could be implemented as a winning animation in the game. So it could also be a potential taunt since it's quicker. See what I'm saying? Do that little quick little gloating dance and her little bad dancing that she does in the show. But she was a very bad dancer in the show, just like I said, but she was also taking lessons. So I got this from the Dancin Machine episode for the reference. As far as just winning animations. So that's what I could come up with as far as those for Kitty Katswell. I think those would really be cool. Either one, the gloating dance she does from the show, or she could do the bad dancing when she was trying to learn how to dance and, attempt to dance right off the bat. That would be something cool. So last but not least, I came up with a moveset for Kitty Katswell, and this particular move I thought of Shredder, because Shredder has his own charge mechanic in this game, and he can charge up, and his attacks will be a little bit stronger. He'll be able to launch you. So I came up with something similar for Kitty Katswell. So it's something that you guys probably don't know. Something else that I ended up finding out. I didn't even notice this because it's been so long since I watched this show. Kitty Katswell's eyes would magically turn a bright red whenever she would get angry, very angry in the show. So I came up with some kind of a move that she could do, something similar to Shredder's charge mechanic. I called it Kitty Madness. I just made it up, something like that. And it could be utilized as a temporary buff for her claw attacks. So she fights with her claws, with her combat, and she's definitely going to be running around, swiping everybody and attacking with her claws. Her lethal claws that are registered weapons, of course. So I thought this could be similar to Shredder's charging mechanic that lasts a few seconds. And I got this from the Diary of a Mad Cat episode where she got angry. For example, you can see her eyes change colors and really get upset. So maybe the player can activate Kitty Madness to grant the player, he or she can use the Kitty Madness to get a temporary buff to be able to have increased damage on their attacks. And it can last the same amount of time as Shredder, so it fits that balance. Or it can just be used every now and then it goes on a cooldown period where her temper tantrum she goes on a cooldown, and her temper tantrum has to die down. So she'll start to chill out a little bit, and then the player can just try to activate it later on in the fight. So that way it's a little bit different than Shredder's, and then it can't just keep on, because with Shredder, when it runs out, you can just keep on charging, but it can probably be something similar to that for Kitty Katswell, but she could probably just be able to have to she goes on the cooldown period, and then she can be able to get all angry and supercharged up to unleash some devastating claw attacks during this phase. So I came up with that as just a starter for someone with what she can do. Her lethal claws, just like what we already were talking about, she can have fury swipes. Fury swipes are 3-hit combos with her attacks, and she can be pretty fast. So she already got speed, and she's athletic from the show, and all these different things that she can do. She already be attacking us with her claws. So I can definitely see it. And just looking at Shredder's picture, I could see Kitty Katswell being on the screen in this game, just how he's positioned, just with his weapon and his pose. So a good reference for the Tough Puppy and from that particular show. But I came up with the lethal claws attacks, as I just mentioned, 3-hit combos that can just be light attacks. A kitty strike for a strong claw attack, and she gets into this little position for when she was trying to go after the mouse that she got baited with. It was just a toy mouse that was being remotely controlled by one of the villains. I forgot his name, but he was able to bait her into a room because of this toy. And when she gets into that lunging position, it could be something like that for her kitty strike. It could be a strong claw attack where she could lunge at the opponent. So that would be something cool as a little strong attack. Now, some weapons, I chose the blaster from the show, and it was a laser handgun. So I thought this could be something that she could fire almost similar to Fox McCloud from Fox and Falco and Wolf. But I think this, I would want her blaster to play like Wolf from Super Smash Bros. Because he can't, with the lasers that Falco shoots it slower than Fox, and Fox can just spam it over and over. I would want her blaster to play like Wolf, so she could be able to shoot it every now and then. And she can shoot it at a slower rate, so she can use this as a use her blaster and shoot different lasers at that same similar rate for the speed for the one of the guns that she uses in the show. The blaster is not just used by protagonists. The blaster is also used by antagonists in the show as well in T.U.F.F. Puppy. So I ended up finding that out. So that could be a cool little implementation of an attack projectiles that she could fire and use her laser handgun. And maybe it can also be charged. You can charge it up and then for a bigger blast. If you have enough time to charge the blaster. So I thought that could be something. And I came up with Mouse Catcher as little running claw attacks. It can be used as I just came up with that. So she's just really after all the mouse. Any mouse that she sees, she just goes after and easily gets distracted. I came up with Mouse Catcher as a move for a running claw attack when you start to play with her. So that'll be cool to be a little another offensive attack that she can do. And then maybe just in the air, she could probably do some little aerial swipes, little strong swipes to little juggle a big swipe in the air to be able to juggle you a little bit in the air, something like that. A recovery move, I came up with the grappling hook gun that they use in the show, and she can use that grappling hook gun to be able to shoot her way back up onto the stage for her recovery move. So I almost wanted to think of something similar to what Garfield's recovery is, but it doesn't have to be like his. And it can just, I think using the grappling gun is a better choice instead of just having it similar to Garfield's recovery. But that's all I can really come up with as far as her moveset. I'm sure she can be a force to be reckoned with. I think she could be a dangerous character. I'm definitely going to play as her, and then many other characters. Regardless, even if she doesn't get in, they can get Dudley Puppy or somebody else from the show. They already have their own. Dudley Puppy already has his own unique gadgets that he uses as well during these different missions and different encounters with the villains. But there's other gadgets, there's many others that she can use, but those, I couldn't really find any others that would fit this game for her as far as the other guns and stuff that they use, because they have something called the Young Gun that would not work in this game. That's another iconic item from the show. The Young Gun alters the age when it's fired on the whoever it is on the opponent. So the Young Gun would not fit in this game. So I almost wanted to try to give it a different variation, but you cannot change the ability of a gadget like that. So just things like that, I kind of had trouble with trying to come up with and trying to just think that, does that weapon or that gadget really fit in this game? It wouldn't be a good fit. So they would have to scrap the Young Gun and not even have to use it, because the Young Gun was already used quite a few times in the show. So that's why I ended up selecting the blaster for her moveset. But those are the character ideas for Kitty Katswell. I really hope they consider it, because she would be really dangerous. She's super strong, and then I would love to see that her anger, her madness, and her temper tantrum to be able to be added and implemented into this game. It really would be cool, and it would be it'd be awesome to see that her eyes turn red on the field as well. So I really think she's one of the best picks for this game as far as DLC and different shows that could be implemented into this game. I'm hoping that they consider her, Kitty Katswell. I don't know what you guys think, but it's a good show. If you haven't seen it, she's a great character. She's strong enough. She has all these different abilities, and I think she would personally, I think she would bring a lot of players to this game.